All right, back now with my panel, and I know we have a delay for some of the guests who are not in studio, so please try not to talk over each other. I want you guys to have a robust conversation. I will interject as little as possible, but try not to talk over each other. So Tara, let's pick up where we left off. As a Republican who doesn't support Donald Trump, what do you make of Melania saying that the leak of the tax return, the timing of the tape's release, it's all part of a coordinated left-wing media conspiracy?
I think that's part of what she's supposed to say, right? I mean, all that may be true, and you could say the same thing about the WikiLeaks leaks. That's a coordinated attack against Hillary Clinton. That's why they call them October surprises. This is what happens in October. This is the final stretch of the campaign. This is really not abnormal. Maybe the amount of what we're seeing and just how unbelievable a lot of it is, but the October surprise is not new to electoral politics. But I thought something else that Melania said, which bothered me considerably, is when she kept trying to cast aside what Donald Trump was saying on the Access Hollywood tape is just boy talk. You know, this idea of boy talk. He was a 59-year-old grown man, and that he was somehow egged on by Billy Bush. So now Billy Bush is the scapegoat. I mean, Donald Trump is incapable of ever taking responsibility for his own actions.
But what about the idea, Tara, hold on, Betsy.
It's very
Tara, what about the idea that it's honorable for Melania Trump to come out and stand by her man, but it's dishonorable for Hillary Clinton to do the same thing? Is there a degree of hypocrisy here?
Absolutely. I've said this from the very beginning. I said that, you know, as conservatives, a lot of us went after the Clintons in the 90s, went after Bill Clinton justifiably for his transgressions, and then criticized Hillary to a certain degree. But her approval rating went up. It went up 20+% during that scandal in 1998. So attacking the wives doesn't really work there because people feel sympathy for the wife because she didn't do it. So why Donald Trump is insisting on using this strategy is beyond me, because it didn't work before. Okay. And it is absolutely hypocritical for those of us who went after Clinton to now say that, you know, what's going on with Donald Trump. Oh, well, that shouldn't be believed.
You mentioned the egging on. Here it is. Let's listen. This is what Melania talked about.
I gotta use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her. You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the pussy. I can do anything.
Betsy, was Billy Bush egging him on?
Well,
where is that?
No, probably not. But here's the point. When you're married to someone, you're supposed to see him through rose-colored glasses. Of course we would want Melania Trump to view the incident that way. That's why they don't put wives on juries when their husband is accused of a crime, because spouses and lovers are supposed to view their partner in that very favorable
so
way.
You're supposed to put them on television to use them as
no, I think she did this of her own volition because she wanted to. But she did point out something else in her.
So then, hold on. Then, if you're saying that's what so are we supposed to believe her or not supposed to believe her? What are you saying?
I think we're supposed to believe her as a character witness to her husband. That is what she
But you wouldn't put her on the jury as a character witness.
They never would.
But she can't testify to the fact.
Right. Well, let me just say something. I'm sorry, but look, I'm sorry.
You know,
she's married to a billionaire. You think that she's going to come out and what is she supposed to do? She's going to come out, and of course she's going to support her husband. What does she think? She's going to say, "Oh, I've had enough. I'm walking away."
Of course she's going to defend him.
Let's be honest here.
If a wife doesn't say loving things about her husband, the marriage is over.
Well, I mean, if he's a serial roper,
something else, though,
should be, but she's not going
to.
Hillary and then Gina. Go ahead, Hillary and then Gina.
First of all, I agree with Tara that Billy, you know, blaming this on Billy Bush is just immature of the Trump family to take this on. And, you know, this guy's getting fired for his job, but Donald Trump still gets to run for president.
It's interesting that the higher standards are to be the third-hour host of the Today Show than for...
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Says a lot.
Melania said something else, though, when Anderson asked her if it was legitimate to go after Bill Clinton. And she said, well, they've gone after my past. And, you know, with the pictures of the modeling and the like. And it is very important for the record that people not... that be fact-checked, because Hillary Clinton's campaign never went after Melania Trump. Hillary Clinton wouldn't go after Melania Trump. She has been the spouse of a political candidate, and she knows better, and just for character reasons wouldn't do that. It was the Republicans in the primary that went after Melania Trump. So this idea that all holds barred, anything is fair game because that's what the Clinton campaign is doing is just nonsense.
Gina?
So, you know, they're justifying this over and over again with no basis.
There's a key difference here between
between words and actions.
Yes.
What Mr. Trump did was words. He's apologized. I didn't like it either. Melania obviously didn't like it. We can all agree we didn't like it. America has moved on. Most Americans don't care about this. What they do care about is the fact that Mrs. Clinton has taken hundreds of millions of dollars from governments that oppress and stone women to death. Where is the defense of that? They throw gays off of buildings.
You mean
Where is
the
defense
Clinton
of that?
Foundation, not
What are
Hillary
you
Clinton.
talking about?
You're talking about the
What
Clinton
are you
Foundation
talking
donations
about?
from
The
foreign
Clinton
None of that is
Foundation.
true. Nothing you're saying is
It's
true.
100% true.
In fact,
Show
nobody
me.
was tougher
It's
on countries that
100% true. No
oppressed
one's even
women.
disputing it.
No,
In
no, no,
fact,
no.
Mrs.
You need to
Clinton,
understand
I
facts.
let you
Nobody
talk.
was
If I could
tougher
just-
Hold on,
on
one at a
countries that
time. One at a
oppressed
time.
I
women.
let you
One at a
talk
time.
if I could
Gina,
just
Nobody
Gina,
was
hold on.
tougher
Let Hillary
on
make her point, and I'll let you
that
finish.
oppressed
Clinton
women,
is-
that oppressed gays and lesbians than Hillary Clinton. Nobody was tougher as a Secretary of State in history on countries that attacked
money?
women's rights, that
Hundreds of
attacked
millions of
LGBT rights
dollars
than
from
Hillary
Saudi
Clinton.
Arabia,
So
from
you can't
Qatar.
trace
These are
anything
governments
to the
that live under
foundation
Sharia
to Hillary
law,
as
and they
Secretary of
abuse
State.
women royally, and there's proof of that. And all you're talking about with Donald Trump is words. This is words.
No,
so we
it's-
need to
Let's
look
finish.
at where the actual
That's
proof
just
is.
a
The actual
nonsense
proof is in
argument. Nonsense.
the tape recording of her saying that a little 12-year-old girl brought a rape on herself. That's one thing. Then we're looking at the money that she's taken
she did
from
not do
governments
that.
abuse and stone
Yeah.
women to
That's-
death. I mean, I don't
Gina,
understand
Gina,
why
that's
this
not what
doesn't matter
happened
to
in
you.
the
Why
tape.
isn't
You
she
should
giving
read-
that money
you should
back?
read the
Nothing
fact
you're
checks on
saying
that.
makes sense.
Well, I'm not going to defend Don. I'm not
Nothing
going to
you're
defend
saying is
Hillary
true.
Clinton on that, but that is you're right, Don. That's not exactly what happened. I mean, she was that first of all, that's like 30 years ago or 40 years ago. So how come it's okay to bring up what
And
Hillary
even then it
Clinton
wasn't
did 40
true.
years
About a
ago,
long
but it's not
time
okay
ago,
to bring
too.
up what Donald
But
Trump
that,
did
Tara,
5 or 10
that
years
has
ago. This is
become
the
a
kind of
that has
hypocrisy
become a
that's so
talking point
frustrating.
on the right about Hillary Clinton and that case. And
Right.
if you read the fact checks, none of what they're asserting is true. Yes, it is Hillary Clinton on the tape. She does laugh, but she's not laughing at the victim.
Right, she's laughing at the case.
at the
She
case.
was
I'd like
assigned
to
to
get
it,
some
and
fact
she
checks.
tried to get off it,
Probably
but I'm not
brought
going
it
to
on
defend her on
herself,
that. This is the problem. Donald Trump is not prosecuting this case very well against Hillary Clinton. Instead, what he's doing is he's going off on this tit for tat, I have to defend myself in like a tabloid National Enquirer type fashion 3 weeks before an election.
Yeah.
You're right. Most women, they care about the economy. They care about national security. That's not what Donald Trump is talking about. And that's what makes him unfit.
And what will Betsy McCaughey say after the break? Because she's ready to jump in. We'll be right back.
Suspense.
We're arguing through the commercial break. I'm back now with my panel. What will Betsy McCaughey say after the break? Betsy, your point was?
That one of the most important things Melania Trump said in that interview is she's asking for her husband to be given the same right to fact-checking, to due process, as anybody else accused of a crime like sexual assault would be. And when Jessica Leeds went to the New York Times complaining that on a flight seated next to Donald Trump, he groped her so horrifically that even the man across the aisle was bug-eyed at the sight of this assault, the New York Times, 48 hours later, printed that story, despite being warned by Donald Trump that it was untrue, printed that story without being able to ascertain the flight, the year that it occurred, whether Mr. Trump and
what's your
Mrs.
point,
Leeds
Betsy?
were even on a flight together. 2 days later, a man came forward and said, I was the man across the aisle, and what I witnessed was exactly the opposite of what Mrs. Leeds contends. Now, just
that
a
man
moment.
was discredited.
There's also-
No, he wasn't discredited. I know
He has no corroborating evidence for his
That's
account.
right.
And there's also
So
issues
all
with
I'm
his
pointing
credibility
out
as
is
well.
at this
And
point,
lied before.
At this
But
point,
where
that
there
is
is
not a
evidence,
credible.
Dawn,
Let me
but where there
finish.
is-
At
but
this
where there
point, it
is
is not a
evidence
credible
is the
allegation
FOIA
because
Gina,
it's
hold
just,
on. Let her finish. And then
It's
you can get
just he said,
Okay.
she said.
Yeah.
And I would ask the New York Times or any media outlet before they smear something
Except
on
that
the
there's
front
900
page
people.
that can
And counting.
turn a presidential election.
Okay, Betsy.
That they have some evidence. One iota.
Betsy, you're filibustering now. Go ahead,
It's
Gina.
worth
But
pointing out
where
that
there
there
is
were
evidence,
two women
Dawn,
in that story.
Is where the FOIA information is that her own high-level staffers tried to bribe the FBI. When you look at the WikiLeaks, which again, the WikiLeaks emails, which
What are
again,
you talking
she
about?
has not even been denied. She's not even
You're
addressing
just
those. Not even addressing
Gina,
them.
we're talking
You're just
about-
a robot of right-wing talking points tonight.
Gina, we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about something else.
America has moved on from this.
They
rat-a-tat-tat.
Why we're not looking at and why we're not asking Hillary to defend
Donald Trump hasn't
her
moved
her
on
own
from
campaign
this.
against this evidence.
That's the
I think in
problem.
the debate he will have moved on.
The surrogates are like defending a different candidate because Donald Trump has not moved on from this. He continues to bring it up. He brought it up again today at a rally. He brought it up yesterday. He tweeted about it. He's the one that's keeping it out there because he wants to put out this sad story of it's a rigged election, which is terribly irresponsible on his part.
That's what they focus on.
But guess what, Gina? If he didn't talk
Gina,
about it,
stop talking.
yeah. If he didn't talk about it, then we'd say Donald Trump held a rally today
That's
and
true,
talked
but-
about this.
But the media has covered this story again with zero facts, 4-1 over the amount of time that they've given these.
You know why
massive
they don't-
scandals
you know
being
why we're
revealed
not
in the
talking
media.
about
Stop
it right
blaming
now.
everybody
That have
else.
evidence
If Donald
behind
Trump
them.
acted like an adult candidate, he wouldn't have to blame everybody else about his problems and why he's losing in the polls. I mean, if he grew
Donald
up,
Trump
maybe
is an
that this would be
outsider.
a little
All day
bit more
long.
taken more
Politician.
seriously.
We've all known that
Enough
from
with
the
the
beginning.
blaming.
But he also doesn't collude with government agencies.
But there's also
We don't know that.
there's also a false equivalency. There's not parity in these two stories. One is about allegations of sexual assault against women, which is eye-popping for most people, and the other is about how
Corrupt government.
how government runs, and both of them deserve to be
But one-
covered,
And by
but they're
the way,
not going to be covered
government is
equally.
This is not how
I've been on-
government
to our
runs, Dawn.
Sorry,
society.
whoa,
Collusion and
stop.
corruption are not how government runs.
Sakes,
Felonious
you women
bribes
are crazy.
to the FBI, that's not how
I didn't
government
say it was right.
And
I didn't
would
say it was
submit
right.
to you
I'm
that-
talking about process.
I agree
Yeah.
there.
And
But that's
you know what?
precisely why Donald
Listen,
Trump
Gina-
ran as an outsider, as somebody to come in and take on the establishment and the elite who have acted this way and disregarded we the people forever. And I would submit to you, Don, that
Okay.
most women out there are so much more concerned with having a candidate who is going to be honest and who's going to break up the
Okay.
Washington cartel.
Hillary,
And
I've
that's
got
Donald
Hillary, I've
Trump
got
every time.
20 seconds. I know a lot of women who are concerned about sexual assault
Yeah,
as well, but
have to
Hillary, I'll give you
explain
the
that
last
to
20
their
seconds.
Here's the basic point,
And nobody said they
and Gina's
were,
just
but
been a
here's the truth.
font of right-wing talking points tonight. It's hurting my ears. It's so crazy. But here's the issue, which is, and I've been on TV 3 times today talking about Hillary Clinton's WikiLeaks. So it has been covered all day long. The reason we are still on these issues
where's
is
Hillary?
because Donald Trump himself, stop it, Donald Trump himself, all day long, cannot stop being a victim.
Okay, I gotta
If he
go.
was out there talking about the economy, talking about other
Thank
things,
you. I
maybe
gotta go,
we
Hillary.
would be too.
That's right.
Every night,
you at the
every night,
debate,
everyone, I
everyone.
get a front row seat. Can you believe it? 21
Good night,
days.
Mr.
Tomorrow will be 20. Good night.